all student UPSC aspirant English medium student. Once again, thanks for joining me. I remind you in the last class, chapter 7th, questions with answers. So, today's class, chapter 8, chapter of name, Ashoka the emperor who gave up war. So, let's go ahead. Rosan's rupees. So, about Rosan cultured the crisp notes that her grandfather had given her on her birthday. While she badly wanted to buy a new cast, she also wanted to just see and feel the brand new notes. It was then that she noticed that all of them had a smiling face of Gandhiji printed on the right and a teeny set of lines on the left. What were the lines therefore? She wondered. So, Rosan's rupees thinking. So, let's go ahead. A very big kingdom and emperor. The line that we see on our notes and coins have a long history. They were carved in stone and placed on top of a massive stone pillar at Sarnath, about which you read in chapter 7. So, Ashoka was, and on his inscriptions were carved on pillars as well as on rocks surface. Before we find out what was written in these inscriptions, let us see why his kingdom was called an emperor. The emperor that Ashoka ruled was founded by his grandfather named Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya, more than 2300 years ago, Chandragupta was supported by a wise man named Chanakya or Kautilya. So Chanakya or Kautilya, one of the one man. So Chanakya, name of Kautilya. So many of Chanakya's ideas were written down in a book called the Arthashastra. So, density. When members of the same family become rules on after another, the family is often called a density. The Mauryas were a density with rulers Chandragupta Maurya, his son Bindusar, and Bindusar's son Ashoka. So let's go ahead. There were several in the empire marked with green and black. Green inscriptions were founded and black important cities. So look at this picture. You all student map 5. The Maurya Empire, showing the principal cities and some of the palaces where inscriptions were found. So green palaces inscriptions were found and black dots important cities. The palace where inscription of Ashoka have been found and are marked with green dots. So these were included within empire name the countries where Ashoka inscription have been found. So green all green palaces inscription were found. So Lampak, Kandhar, Mansehra, Shahbaz Gadi, Taxila, Kalsi, Topra, Bahapur, Delhi, Meerut, Lumbini, Rampurwa, Lodiya, Ariraj, Sarnath, Sarnath, Sambhnath, गुजराल कौशाम्बी, रूपनाथ सांची, पनगोरिया, ग्रीनार, सोप्रा, सन्नाथी, मस्की, ये येरागुडी, ब्रह्मगिरी. So all palaces inscription were found. So black dots: Ujjain, Patliputra, Jagoda. 1, 2, 3. Three palaces, important cities. So let's go ahead. These included the capital Patliputra, Taxila and Ujjain. Taxila was a gateway of the northwest, including Central Asia, while Ujjain lay on the route from north to south India. Merchant, official, and craft persons probably lived in these cities. In other areas, there were villages of farmers and herders. In some areas, such as central India, there were forests where people gathered forest produce and hunted animal for food. People in different parts of the empire spoke different languages. They probably ate different kind of food and wore different kinds of clothes as well. How are empire different from kingdom? So empire need more sources than kings because empire are large than kingdoms and need to be protected by big armies. Next, so also they need a large number of officials who collect taxes. So let's go ahead. Ruling the empire. As the empire was so large, different parts were ruled. Definitely, the area around Patliputra was under the direct control of the emperor. These meant that officials were appointed to collect taxes from farmers, herders, craft persons, and traders who lived in villages and towns in the area. Officials also punished those who disobeyed the ruler's order. Many of these officials were given salaries. Messenger went to and fro, and spies kept a watch on the officials, and of course, the emperor survived, supervised them all with the help of members of the royal family and senior ministers. There were other areas or provinces. Each of these was ruled from a provincial capital such as Taxila or Ujjain. Although there was some amount of control from Patliputra, and royal princes were often sent as governors, local customs and rule were probably followed. Besides, there were vast areas between these centers. Here, the Mauryas tried to control roads and rivers, which were important for transport and to collect whatever resources were available as tax and tribute. For example, the Arthashastra tells us that the northwest was important for blankets and South India for its gold and precious stone. It is possible that these resources were collected as tribute. There were also the forested regions. People living in these areas were more or less independent, but may have been expected to provide elephants, timber, honey, and wax to Maurya officials. So let's go ahead. Ashoka, a unique ruler. The most famous Maurya rule was Ashoka. He was the first ruler who tried to take his message to the people, though inscriptions, most or Ashoka inscriptions were in Prakrit and were written in the Brahmi script. Ashoka's war in Kalinga. So let's go ahead. Kalinga is the ancient name of coastal Orissa. See map 5, page number 76. Ashoka fought a war to conquer Kalinga. However, he was so horrified when he saw the violence and bloodshed, bloodshed that the decided not to fight any more war. He is only king the history of the world who gave up conquest after winning a war. So let's go ahead. What was Ashoka's Dham? Ashoka's Dham didn't involve worship of a god or performance of sacrifices. He felt that just as a father tears to teach his children, he had a duty to instruct his subject. He was also inspired by the teaching of the Buddha. Chapter 7th. Read now, you all student. So look at this picture. Bull, the Rampura bull. Look at his finely polished stone sculpture. This was part of Moria pillar found in Rampura, Bihar, and has now been placed in Rashtrapati Bhavan. It is an example of the skill of the sculpture of the time. So look at this picture. Moria, Moria pillars. So let's go ahead. There were a number of problems that troubled him. People in the empire followed different religions, and they sometimes lead to conflict. Animals were sacrificed, slaves and servants were ill treated. Besides, there were quarrels in families and almost never. Ashoka felt it was his duty to solve these problems, so he appointed officials now as the Dhamma Mahamatya, who went from palaces to palace teaching people about Dhamma. Besides Ashoka, go his message inscribed on rocks and pillars, instructing these officials to read this message to those who could not read in themselves. Ashoka also sent messenger to spread ideas about Dhamma to other lands such as Syria, Egypt, Greece, and Sri Lanka. So he built roads, dung wells, and built rest house. Besides, he arranged for medical treatment of both human beings and animals. So look at this picture. Brahmin different languages are below. The Brahmi scripts, most modern Indian scripts have developed from the Brahmi scripts over hundred of years. Here you can see the letter A are written in different scripts. Early Brahmi A, Devanagari Hindi A, Bengali A, Malayalam A, Tamil A. So different scripts, letter A. So you all students, that's enough today's class. I meet you next class, questions with answers, chapter 8. So till then, bye bye, take care. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Like, subscribe and share. Thanks.